I'm going to start first with, the ones that they find it more difficult from my point of view. Young learners, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so let's start talking about part 2 of the exam. Part 2 of the young learners flyers is that part. Based on my experience, that's the part that they tend to find it more difficult when they have to obviously structure grammatical sentences and so on. Okay, I have also attached a full paper of the speaking test for you to have. Okay, I'm going to give you some ideas of how I work, with young learners, and exposing them to this task and try to make it as fun as possible, considering I play with them domino cards, that's, task 1. I play, the target language that obviously is this, for them to be able to connect, grammatically speaking. Good sentences, good use, correct use of the sentences, and so on. So I put the ones, I use different colors in order to help me also then to distribute the task across group. I say, okay, those blank are the beginning and the blue ones, are the ending part of the sentence. So, I prepare, whatever language or sentences I want to work with. And then I divide my class, if I have 10 students.
Yolanda, I think I've lost you.
No, she said, Yolanda said that the connection is wrong. It's not working. The internet connection at Colegio de Médicos.
The language, and as I was saying, I prepare, this block in white color. The second part of the sentence, I use different color because it's very easy for me then to distribute the card. And then if I want to do a follow-up activity with one part and not the other, I can very quickly divide my set. So I provide, I mix them, like a pile of cards. I say, okay, for 4 cards, each, like we are playing, and we are going to play domino. For instance, I go, how far? And then whoever has the second part of the sentence, the blue one, I'm going to call, or green one, that could fit, needs to place it. Yes? Things like that. In order, not to make it at, first, I will only and exclusively put the ones, that, will fit. But as we practice, I add some other additional sentences that have nothing to do. Yes, like how far eat ice cream, you see? So the, points, because they need to think that we are playing. So obviously for each card that
Again.
Yeah. I contacted her as well. Well,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Wait,
Can you hear me all right now?
Yes, now yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So domino, that's what I call domino. I play like that. Okay. Then don't worry, I will be sending you all, my presentations. Okay. So I'm also, as telling you a little bit about the procedure. Then, I do a follow-up on this task once I create it, make the effort of creating, the game. I use it and reuse it. And then also, it gives me the opportunity to further expose the students to the target language, but in a different way. As we very well know, the attention span of a child is not that, great. Therefore, we need to present the learning differently. So, another task following that is I say, okay, everybody, in a circle, we are going to play with the ball, or yes, a small ball and everything. In order to help and respect individual differences and learning processes of the students, I write on the board, samples of the type of language that I'm going to use, highlighting the relevant parts so that if they have, any doubt, they have a reference on the whiteboard to follow. Yes? So we are in a circle, ready to play with the ball. And then, for instance, I throw the ball, I say, Tanya, here you are. Who? And then Tanya will need to produce a sentence with who. Yes? Okay. Or sometimes, first I will see also obviously the level of competence of the group, for sure. And if I see they are pretty confident, then I will mix it. And then I will say, okay, good. But, I will increase the speed. I will slow down according to the necessity of the group. Then I will throw it to Anna. Anna, very difficult, this one. And then in order, because remember we are playing, I say, all of you have only 3 life, or you have quite a lot of life, 3. So instead of eliminating, a student for not producing the sentence on the time the teacher said, you say, okay, now you sit down. You miss a round, that type of thing. Okay? So that we don't eliminate anybody, but everybody takes part, but differently. So also, we want that child, to see them for the round, so that, next time he try to make, or he or she try to make more effort to create that level of healthy competition. Okay, sorry. Okay?
Yeah, sorry, Yolanda, you will send it to us after.
For sure, for
Okay,
sure.
yeah.
As soon as I finish.
Okay, thank you so
Okay?
much.
So then, another activity that I do is still to further expose a student to this part of the speaking exam, because, based on my experience, it's the most difficult. I say I'm going to use the whole, the whole structures here in a different way. Now, again, I use all my, elements are printed or using a cardboard of different colors. But that's only to help me that when I need to, place them in one part of the classroom, or wherever I want to place them, it's faster for me to deal with. So the who or the W, yes, language, one block, or the, verb to be, present and past, is or are, because they happen regularly in the exam. Yes? Is your notebook blue, for instance? So that type of language, I place it in cardboard of different colors. Yes, the auxiliary, do, does, all.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, she's frozen.
Interesting. Okay.
To the structures and everything. So basically I put the blue card in one part of the room, the green in another part, or on a table. It depends on the space I happen to have. And the yellow card in a different part, yes? So
Yeah,
yes,
very interesting, yeah. Because yes, they need to get tired.
yes, yes. And by the time they go and look at
Yeah.
everything, It's
Yeah.
not only, a physical response, but it's a visual learning as
Yeah,
well.
visual
because-
learning, physical,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
So I say, okay, and then you can present the task in different way. You can tell the full sentence, it depends on the students or the group ability. Okay, I want you to look for who was the teacher. Or simply, you say, okay, I want you to use who is teacher. Yes, the
Mhm.
blue part and the yellow part. Only the green part and the yellow part. And they have to find the missing match. Yes,
Mhm.
I don't know how. Is it clear? Yes, have I explained it well?
Yeah, Yolanda, now, yes,
See?
we've been listening to you for a while. It's working now, your internet connection.
Okay, okay. So, as I said, then the teacher can modify, only say how long, and then the students in groups, so you monitor them better, have to go and find for the missing information. Okay?
Mhm.
And then obviously, I wouldn't be doing that all the time, every day. I will pick one task and then I will do that particular day. And then a follow up on that will be a different task. Running this station, now I want to contextualize the learning in order, to be more meaningful. Once, I analyze that the students had help them to decide what's the best answer, but also, the context around it, will help them. So,
Okay.
create a story, I don't care, eh?
So, Yolanda, I have a question here. So, the order would be, so first
I
of
see.
all,
First like that,
yes,
basic. And
yeah,
you
game,
build up in the challenge,
yeah,
so to,
exactly.
to
So,
go
first of
first.
all, the students should be looking at the structure through games. That's it.
Correct?
Yeah, and after playing,
Okay.
like more,
Challenging.
yeah, more that's more challenging. And after that, the
The contest.
exercise, okay?
Yes, yes.
Exercise, right.
Running the station, I contextualize. Imagine if I want to, the cards in the exam, they're talking about a school or the teacher. So I will create a little story, in that context. Yes. And, we'll say, oh, this, I create a situation. So as students, at least they will know that what we are going to talk or learn is something related to the school. And, we go to this, I create whatever story, and then, what I say, okay, oh, now you need to help me because there is a situation here that I don't know how to do it. You have to make them, really important, part of the learning process. Now I'm in a situation, I will give them all the information that I have created, all, my, a story to them. Yes. And then, they will be like the teacher. Oh, I have the questions, because obviously I'm referring to the structure of the actual exam where, I go, now you know the answer. So I will be asking that question. So I'm playing now the student. I don't know, but you have, yes, whatever's in here, so they can refer to that. And then I will say, okay, I don't know this question. Is cheap, expensive? Where is, or why, or whatever? Where do you cheap, expensive? For them to try to correct me. Yes? So once again, I'm exposing to the language. And then, a follow-up. Sometimes I will provide the ending of the sentence for the students to complete or vice versa. Again, to further reinforce. And then I do a final, well, two final, tasks that, when I'm pretty sure, with, of course, they will make errors, but pretty sure they can manage very well. I play, the final, game with them. And that's, a yellow. I mean, I get, 5 cards of different colors. Each card will allocate, points, 10, 20, 30, yes? Because we are playing. Then a surprise card, because obviously, I want to introduce that element that we are playing, and therefore, there are different things that you will be doing or request other members of the group to do in order to get additional points. Yes, for instance, each color card will represent, one part of the language that I want to work with the students. For instance, pronouns, he, she, the children, mom, dad, and so on. The green card will be the verb. Was, is, are, do, does, and so on. Did, whatever they will need in order for a student to complete the task successfully. Blue, places, the object of the situation. In the cinema, in the school, in the library, and so on and so forth. And the red, correctly, they will get 40 points. So imagine, under the yellow card, I will have, I say, he, then another card, she, the children, the house, and so on. In 20, the green card. Under the green card, I will have, because I decided they are verbs, I will put was verb is, are, can, can't, and so on. Yes? So then if they decided to get 40 points, they have to pick up one card from yellow, another green and blue. If they make the sentence correct, they will get 40 points. And then, imagine I want 50 points, Obviously, I make it a bit more, a bit of element of fun, but also, if you want 50 points, you have to do something else. So then I go to my surprise, I call surprise block. My surprise block, I would write different statements, for instance, get 10 points, if you hop around the class, or rest 10 points, 10 points to a team of your selection, because we are playing, so we need to get those kind of things, yes?
Yeah.
20 points if all the members of the group can tell a short story that everybody needs to partake. This type of challenges, so yeah.
Right.
And then you can also ask them, okay, if you ask a question to another group with, one of these, yes? Imagine from the yellow block, okay, sorry, Okay, so that's, the surprise block, yes? So then, students, I create different group, 1, 2, 3, and they can decide, only I want the yellow block, so they will have to write, we produce a sentence only with the pronouns he, she. If they want more, they have to obviously make more effort, okay? That's another game I play. And then, the musical chairs, Again, imagine I have students in my group, so I create 2 teams, yes? And then each member of the team, if there are only 6, I will play only in the same kind of musical chairs. You know, I will say, Tanya, you are the WH, you know, at the moment. Anna, you are the bear, any bear you want. Student 3, you are places, library, this and that. So, yes, I play a bit of music, and you number 4, free choice, you know, or I'll alternate as I will. So I say, okay, pam, pam, I play the music, and then, I stop and I say, is. So Anna, you are the verb, so give me a sentence, interrogative, is. Yes, is your mother Anna or Joseph? Yes?
Ah,
Good, yes? Or
Mhm.
not, or whatever. Yes?
mhm.
Like that, okay, that's good and everything. And then I'll try to obviously make sure that, I stop. Okay, student 3 places, make sentences. Yes?
Mhm.
Okay, then you can read here. And then, of course, I make a cock, whatever else, a free choice person. Yes, and I play musical chairs with them.
Mhm.
Then, obviously I have attached as well interactive games to play with that. Okay, this is what I've done for, at the moment, for part 2. Let me share with you now part 1. Hold on, Can you see? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Part 1, part 1 is where, the examiner would say, my picture, I don't know,
Yeah. In
Yes.
my picture, there's a
Yes, a duck, swimming or whatever.
yeah.
In my, that type, I also attach the rubrics, the bridge is green, this is that or the other, right? So then what I start doing with that, listen and do, obvious. Very important in this part to reinforce prepositions because it happen all the time. The man is next to the dog, or I don't know, is behind the house, in the house, or whatever else. So then, in order, to reinforce prepositions and all that, I will use the whole class and I will just elicit, commands, the whole class has to be under the table quickly, 1, 2, 3, under the table.
Yeah.
Then, a group, if the group is a bit large, then I create subgroups. Group 1, 2, yes, like that. Group 1 has to be sitting on a table, and group 2 next to the door or next to the, yes, window.
I sometimes use a chair as a reference, yeah,
Wonderful.
or 2 chairs, and one of the students follow the instructions. Okay, so between the chairs, under the chairs, under the
Exactly. So
behind.
like that.
Yeah.
That's the idea, Anna. Yes,
Mhm.
like that. So obviously I start like that, to sleeping, eating, because that's the type of action verb that take place, in the exam, they are eating, sitting, and standing, and so on. That type of action verb. So I divide the group into half, and they have to mime the sentence, for instance, I create a sentence, the girl is sitting next to a dog. So they have to mime, yes? They have to mime, and then that group will get a point if they guess it correctly. Yes? If not, no point. And then the second group. Miming, the whole structure because they will need to produce that. Okay. Then, another task, is, we do a battle, what I call a battle against each other. Yes. Again, before we can write on the board, a set of traces, to help students with a slower learning process or in a different stage of that learning. So group 1, in my pic, for instance, say this. And words and phrases that they will need to use. But in my picture, there are always happen. And I train now. I train my students, I put the pictures, one, obviously the examiner picture in one way, and then the student's picture on the other part, and then it's a battle. I say, okay, in my picture, there is a duck, I don't know, next to a bench, and then, they have to use this word. But in my picture, this, the target language. And I introduce, however, because they will learn it, they will memorize it, obviously. And, if it comes to the exam, they will be marked higher. However, in my picture, I have only, so because, it's a repetition to make full sentences. But in my picture, the man is sleeping. It's not eating or lo que sea. The man is drinking an orange juice, or I don't know, whatever else. I ask them, to produce all this. Not only in my picture, he's sleeping, no, but in my picture, the man, whatever the examiner said, plus, whatever action is happening. Okay, let me see. A memory battle. How I do? Imagine, I have a picture, where the difference is. So I will give one group, that set of the picture, and to the other group, obviously the different one. So I say, okay, let's play, let's see, how is your memory, blah, blah, blah. So imagine this is the picture. I mean, this is stupid. I say, okay, this is my picture. Okay, now I don't have here a flyers book. Okay, doesn't matter. That part of the exam, and then I say, okay, you have 5 seconds to memorize as much as you can of the picture. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I turn, the photos, back. So now, like that, I grab their attention. That's the idea. So I say, okay, I'm going to start, In my picture, there is, a girl reading. Yes? And they have to tell me group 1. But in my picture, yo que sé, the girl is not reading. I don't remember the girl. Point for the teacher, point for the teacher. Because I become part of the game as well. You don't remember la language. In my picture, can you hear me now? Anna?
Yes, now we can hear you. Yeah.
Because I keep on getting messages that, my ref is not stable, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're cutting out from time to
Thank
time.
you. Oof. So then basically, I hide the pictures of the, the book, the family book. I hide it. I give them a few seconds, if they, of course, they are not going to remember. So that's, the way I use that situation, to get their attention. I say, okay, I'm going to be very nice. I'm going to give you another second more extra for you to remember. I go 3, 2, 1, that's enough. Or a bit more time, So they produce. So then they have to be like, the 2 groups will be interacting. at this time. Yes, in my picture there was, or there is a dog. Yeah, and the other team, no, in my picture it was a horse, so you know that type of situation. Okay, yes, okay. That's what I have already said, you know, to introduce. Yes, hold on, let me move on now. And that's, you know, the story part, you know, where they give you, yes, this part, where they have to, part 3 of the flyers exam, where they give you a situation, a story. I'm going to tell you a story. A teacher, blah, 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 this and that. Now you tell me the story, yes? So how I go about it? Hold on. First, you know, if it's something that I haven't, you know, exposed them yet, I cut each part of the story, yes, like that individually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, cut. And, you know, I say, okay, you sentence or 2 sentences, if you can, on this picture, and then the other pair, these pictures, and that. And then in on the board, on a table, I will have all these sentences, or sorry, not sentences, word, you know. At this part, I will be working only at word level because I want them to focus on linkers, and, but, however, finally, staging, first, second, yes, I will, you know, put that in cards on the table, yes? Because I'll say, yes, on the, all this language that I believe, yes, you know, secondly, you know that type. Then, as expected, finally, suddenly, because there is always a situation, so, you know, in picture 4, always something happened, or somebody has fallen down, or this or that. So then suddenly a bear or a cat was there. That's why, you know, I, you know, introduced this word into my story, you know, a bit mechanize the system. Okay, so I do that. So then I say, okay, group 1 or pair 1, can you tell me your story? And then, oh, 1 sentence. Okay, in sequence. Anna, your picture said 2. Now, can you tell me the story? And then you repeat, oh my God, this story makes no sense. Imagine que unos han hablado, they have spoken about I don't know what, and you about something else. This is a crazy story, creating that atmosphere, and so on and so forth. Yes? So that's what I do first. And then I say, okay, now we know the story as a whole. That, thank you, great fun, ha, ha, ha. Now, you know, I want group 1 to select one of these words on the table and pass. So I pass it to Tanya's group. You know, here you are. Now you have to complete your story with Anne. So you are helping them to make complex sentences, you know? And we do that by using, obviously, linkers, connectors, and so on. Okay, we practice with that. Hold on. And now I say, okay, now, not the same day, some other day, I say, okay, you know, still, you know, I want to reinforce, you know, the fact that they need to pay attention. Now they know the sequence, you know, how they need to produce. But I say, now much more difficult. And maybe I produce the same, you know, the same set of cards. But I will put here. Imagine I give you this to, I say, but we are going to play taboo here. We cannot use, for instance, the word teacher or the word school. prohibited, tilin, if you use it. Yes? So, yes, I will give this card. Anna, come here, please. You need to explain. Let's see if they can guess. But you cannot use, of course, I won't tell the class this. Okay, that's taboo. Yes? So then, you will try to say, I don't know, there is, you cannot say a woman, we a teacher, but you have to use something else. A woman who is in a class, in a class is okay. Taboo is only a school, you see? And then I will say, what do you think this woman is? I will encourage that level of participation, yes? And I will create taboo word for all the sentence, for all the pictures. Here, maybe I will say window, a taboo word. So I'm looking outside, I can see, that type of thing. The floor, on the table, and then, I say the story, and they have to follow and pick up and place it in order. And then they have to repeat the story to me. Sorry. Okay, let's see if I have left something behind. No, no, I'm just checking. Okay, that's what I have prepared. So I have covered 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are it's here. General questions. I always, encourage my students to produce, full and good sentences. I prefer to wear. What do you usually wear? Because I prefer to wear sport clothes, my favorite, rather than only produce, I go, yes, to restaurant. I prepare my favorite restaurant is, chunk of language. Always, I prepare students like that. And that's all from me. I don't want to entertain you anymore. Any questions or anything that you would like to add?
No, Yolanda, thank you so much because this is always very interesting.
Okay. No,
Fun
thank
ways,
you.
yeah.
Thank
Fun
you.
ways to get
Yes.
the students to practice it, yeah.
Yeah, especially, they find it incredible. I mean, very difficult when you examine them, structuring questions, well.
Yeah, I know they have problems, yeah, with
Yes, you have experienced it, Anna,
yeah,
yourself as well.
especially questions, yeah. Questions is like
Very, very. Okay, thank you very much indeed, and have a nice, morning. Okay, you
Yeah,
take
thanks,
care.
Yolanda.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.